Bees hold the key, they pollinate the trees and provide honey for the Aborigines. But without the bees, there would be no trees, and that's not a world we would want to see. Bees are so important to all life on this planet as they cross-pollinate from plant to plant and allow food to grow. 1/3 of the world's food sources are grown as a direct result of the work of bees. They are happy being busy. Bees have been doing this around the world for millions of years, and although they are helped on a small scale by other systems, they are still by far the most efficient method of pollination. However, bee life is under threat and they are dying out on a mass scale. Due to poisoning as a result of the overuse of pesticides and insecticides, pests such as mites that live on the backs of bees, diseases such as colony collapse disorder, and a potential loss of their habitat due to urbanisation. A lack of bees would have a drastic implication on life as we know it, the main one being that there would be too little food to sustain an ever-growing population, which would lead to mass starvation. One theory is that we could only eat pork and grains, which would ultimately lead to malnourishment, which would have the same effect on the human population, eventually dying out. This could also have an effect on the economy of agriculture, as there'd be little crops produced and also little food produced for animals to live on. So ultimately there'll be very little income for farmers and also a lack of jobs for beekeepers. So this has an economic effect on the human race. The effects on the food chain would also have a massive implication on genetic diversity, and there would obviously be an implication on the pollination of trees and therefore the fresh oxygen that we need to breathe. As you can see, this is obviously a conservation matter, but anthropologically speaking, there is also a huge effect on human survival and economy. These issues are of high importance in social anthropology as well, as the disaster would affect communities all around the world. However, the loss of bees would have a negative impact on the lives of some Aboriginal cultures. Aborigines rely on bees for their livelihood, tracking them and using their honey and honeycomb for food and to sell for a profit. They even have a honeybee dance to symbolise their reliance on this ritualistic mission.
Bees were also worshipped in ancient Greece in the forms of gods Demeter and Persephone. They're also worshipped now in Aboriginal clans, in which they use their beeswax for important tools such as instruments.
We know that with increased urbanisation that bees' habitat will always be under threat, but there are 4 things that you can do to help. Number 1, buy organic food and don't support the use of pesticides and insecticides. Number 2, plant bee-friendly flowers in your garden. Number 3, don't use chemicals on these flowers. And number 4, just grow your grass a little longer and have a little wildlife habitat for bees in your garden. Thank you.